Hey guys, welcome to the video. Salt here. Today I'll be going over the new secondary weapon, the Coda Catabolyst. To acquire this weapon, you will need to purchase it from Minerva in the Hulvania Mall for 10 live heart cells. Live heart cells can be obtained by doing the new infested lich system. This weapon has a unique trait in that when you reload, you will throw the expended magazine like a grenade. Reloading from completely empty will throw a larger grenade with increased damage, critical, and status chance, as well as having a 5-meter AoE range compared to the partial reload grenade's 3-meter AoE range. The regular fire mode, as well as the grenade AoE, will also have innate corrosive already on the weapon. Another unique thing, not necessarily to just this weapon, but to lich-type weapons in general, is that you'll be able to pick an element that the weapon comes with called a progenitor element. Now, unfortunately, the one I picked up has electric, which would be an incorrect element for this weapon. Instead, you'll be looking out for magnetic. A magnetic progenitor will allow for your weapon to have magnetic, corrosive, viral, and heat, all elements that help with single target damage, making this an absolute monster in dealing with larger, overguarded enemies, or just enemies in general as they become stronger when you scale into late steel path. Now, I just want to point your attention to 3 stats that we will take into consideration when going over the build. The first is beam range. This is a beam weapon, so by default, it'll have a 19-meter range. The next thing I want to point to is fall off. This means the weapon will begin to do less damage the farther away an enemy is, starting at the minimum range listed. And thirdly, and probably most importantly, is this weapon's poor default critical chance at 11%. Although note that the default crit damage is actually above average. On my builds, I always check to see if Galvanized Shot works additively or multiplicatively. And on this weapon, the answer is, well, both. Let me explain. So the normal primary fire mode is additive. The AoE of the grenades is also additive and wouldn't work with Galvanized Shot anyway because it's an AoE. But the direct hits from the thrown grenades, however, are multiplicative weirdly. And so for all intents and purposes, just assume 99% of your damage from Galvanized Shot is going to be additive. But if you want to try to bank on some extra damage, you can try to hit enemies directly with your grenade throws. Okay, let's go over the mods. We have Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot. We have Galvanized Shot for status chance and flat damage. We have Hornet Strike for flat damage. We have Lethal Torrent for fire rate and multi-shot. We have Prime Target Cracker for crit damage. Now, this may seem weird right now as we have bad default crit chance and no crit chance mods, but this will combo with our Arcane when we get to it. In the next 3 slots, we're going to have our element mods. In the first 2 slots, we're going to be going with the 60/60 cold mod, Frostbite, and the 60/60 toxic mod, Pistol Pestilence, to make viral. In the last slot, we're going to be going with primed heated charge to add heat. This will give you viral, corrosive, magnetic, and heat. Please don't be confused by my status chart here. Remember, I picked up the incorrect progenitor with electric, and so my status chart will not be right until I can actually secure the magnetic progenitor that I need. In the Exilus slot, there are 2 options. Ruinous Extension will increase, let me actually go over that one here. Ruinous Extension will increase your beam length from 19 meters to 27 meters, but keep in mind your damage fall-off range will still start at 9 meters. Lethal Momentum will move your initial fall-off range to 12.6 meters, but you will keep your default beam length of 19 meters. So Ruinous Extension will allow you to engage more comfortably in medium ranges, where Lethal Momentum will keep your damage at maximum or close to maximum in its default beam range. I don't think there is a correct or incorrect choice here, but I think these come down to personal preference. And personally, I like Lethal Momentum better, so it'll be the one that I choose. And finally, we get to the Arcane of Secondary Enervate. This increases our critical chance by 10% every time we hit, and will reset after 6 orange crits. This works great for weapons like the Coda Catabolyst that has poor crit chance but good crit damage, as it will keep us a lot of the time in yellow crits without even having to use a crit chance mod. This is how you build out the new secondary weapon, the Coda Catabolyst. I hope you guys like this. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for future content. And so I'll leave you with about 5 minutes of gameplay showcasing the weapon. Thank you again for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day. All right, bye.